Hi guys, Cinebite here. Now this weekend I went to see the much anticipated horror film Lights Out at the cinema. Now there'll probably be spoilers in this video, so if you see this icon you can hit the mute button and shut me up until it disappears again. Now Lights Out is a horror feature film from first time... Fuck off, Stephen! Fucking hell. Stephen, you're a twat! Lights Out is a horror feature film by first time director David Sandberg. Now a little bit of backstory because I think it's important to recognise his achievements with this. Back in 2013, Sandberg made a short 2.5 minute... Fuck off, Stephen! A 2.5 minute short horror video called Lights Out, which he entered into the Who's There online horror short film challenge, which I'll link to the description down below, and also you should be able to find it in the cards on the side as well. In the short, he builds the tension really well, and it ends with a nice freaky little shot. I believe that he won Best Director for the short in the competition, and since then has managed to break into Hollywood, producing this feature film that we have now. So all respect to him, because that is a massive achievement. Now onto this feature-length version. Is it any good? Unfortunately, it's not that great. And whilst the final act is substantially better than the first 3/4 of the film, the bulk of the film is just too messy with too many cliches and far too many character problems. It feels choppy and disjointed all the way up until the final act. For example, a significant death occurs at the beginning of the film, and there is very little information. In fact, I didn't see any at all to show any kind of passage of time after that. Not even the cliched horror 12 months later text across the bottom of the screen. And this event is really a major plot device and driving force for the rest of the film. At least I think it was. The film opens in a factory. Essentially what you see in the trailer is the opening scene to the film. Now in this opening pre-credit scene, we're shown the monster. And not just an eye or a piece of hair or anything like that. We see a full body shot, a full frontal, full body shot of the monster standing in the corridor. I actually read a review online that stated, Maria Bello the actress, does an excellent job at the barely heard conversations between her and the unseen demon Diana. Now I'm not sure which film this reviewer saw, because after the first sequence, where you see the entire monster, you then see the monster every single 7 minutes from then onwards for about an hour. And I mean literally every 7 minutes. I looked at my watch every time the monster came up on screen. So it's certainly not unseen. And because of this, as the film progresses, the monster just becomes another character in the film, as frequently called upon as any other member of the cast. And as a result, is neither scary or disturbing. The film is also jam-packed with all the classic horror cliches. You've got the broken family, the absent father, the reckless daughter and the passive innocent little boy. You've got people slowly investigating a noise that they heard behind the curtain, only to find out that it's somebody they know or something completely innocent. And of course, everybody running after the thing that they've just been terrified by instead of running away from it. While the performances by the cast are absolutely fine and completely believable as normal people, the actions of their characters are often questionable at best. In one scene, one of the characters wakes up in the middle of the night and hears a scratching in the doorway. And as a light from outside pulses on and off, you see the monster appear and disappear in the doorframe. And this continues on for a bit longer than it should really, until you get the classic, overly used jump scare with a screeching noise. After the character screams in terror, turns on all the lights, they then presumably go back to bed. And this kind of thing is repeated throughout the film. People being terrified by something, but then remaining where they are and turning all the lights back off or carrying on as if nothing had happened before. It's established early on by the characters themselves that the monster is afraid of the light and it lives in the darkness. Yet time after time they're walking backwards into shadows or sitting around in semi-lit rooms. Towards the end of the film, when they fortify the house by turning on all of the lights and strategically placing torches and lamps in all the different rooms, the young boy goes to bed with nothing on but a bedside lamp. In addition to that, we discover again early on in the film that the monster, the creature, has the ability to turn off the lights. Something that isn't explained and something that it frequently fails to do as it's stalking the cast and hunting all the characters down. For the most part, the film is competently shot. It does tend to linger on the tension building shots a bit too long, almost to the point of boredom, and there's this horrendous shot at the start where the camera pans across a collection of family photographs on the sideboard, and it gets to the last one and then it zooms in like a really bad piece of home video. Whilst watching Lights Out, I felt that it was trying to imitate some of the ideas that The Babadook gave us, with the depressive mother fighting her demons and not being able to care for her kid, but in this case turning it into a commercially available by-the-numbers horror. There appeared to be a strong link between the monster and the mother's mental health, even towards the end of the film in one of the final scenes when the monster's defeated. as well as an indication that the monster and essentially the mental health problems of the mother were genetic and being passed down onto her kids. I had the strong sense that the monster was being used as a metaphor for mental illness, as it was in the Babadook, but certain story elements like other people being able to see the monster and things like that quashed that theory towards the end of the film. I won't go into the backstory of the monster itself, but suffice to say that what the film explained in terms of the character of the monster was just full of plot holes and left more questions than answers. The problem with Lights Out is that it doesn't seem to know what it wants to be. On the one hand, it's trying to be this commercially available, by the numbers horror film, but then there's these hints that it wants to be something a bit deeper and a bit more thoughtful. It bases itself on the notion that people are scared of the dark and that monsters hide in the dark, but that it gives so much exposure to the monster so blatantly and so early on in the film just makes it not scary at all, and essentially it relies on nothing but jump scares and loud noises for its fear factor. But I do honestly think that Sandberg deserves a lot of praise and recognition for his accomplishments of going from a 2.5-minute sort of YouTube video to a Hollywood feature film. A sequel has already been greenlit, and Sandberg is actually on board to direct Annabelle 2, the sequel to Annabelle, which is the sort of spin-off to the sequel of The Conjuring. So I do wish him all the best and all the luck with those projects. So in summary guys, Lights Out isn't the best film, but it's not the worst film either. For me, I'm going to give it a big, or a mediocre, 6 out of 10. So what do you guys think? Have you seen the film already? Perhaps you're going to see it this week. If you have seen the film, leave a comment below, tell me what you think. And of course, you guys know the drill by now. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, leave a comment. Of course, subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.